Hello all. So today we'll be discussing about TMJ dysfunction and articular disc. First of all, discussing about the basic anatomy, we all know that TMJ is made up of two articular surfaces, that is the mandibular fossa of the temporal bone and the coronoid process of the mandible. So the articular disc is present in between both of these articular surfaces, जैसा कि body के बाकी सारे joints में भी होता है. Talking about the second thing, that is जो disc के fibers होते हैं, that is attached more to the mandible as compared to the temporalis. Which brings us to another fact कि जो ये attachment है, it is because जो disc के fibers हैं that mixes up with the lateral pterygoid muscle, जिसका की significance I'll be discussing further in the video. Second thing, the retrodiscal tissue, as we all know, is the most important point of discussion for we as physiotherapists, is present in the posterior part of the TMJ. As the name suggests, retro means posterior. So the retrodiscal tissue is arranged in two layers, in the form of two layers, that is upper and the lower laminar region, which have a feature of high nerve supply and high vascular supply. So what clinical finding can you think of after listening to this fact? Let me tell you. Whenever patient of TMJ dysfunction comes to us, he usually complains of clicks and pain while he depresses the mouth or the mandible, because there is a excruciating pain because the retrodiscal tissue is rich in nerve supply, and hence nociceptors gets activated and results in increased pain. So moving further onto the function of the disc, as we all know, the articular disc have a role in optimal distribution of the force or to transfer the load equally to all the joint surfaces. Same is the case with the articular disc of the TMJ. Moving on to the one study that concluded that posterior and middle portion of the TMJ disc is more prone to the injuries or more prone to the degeneration because of the higher force distribution in these area when the movement of chewing and grinding takes place. Further to the discussion, we previously discussed that the disc attaches to the lateral pterygoid. So what is its role? The role of lateral pterygoid in moving or to manage the articular disc. So whenever the jaw moves or whenever the mandible depresses, the lateral pterygoids rotate the disc anteriorly. So this rotation of the disc anteriorly, what it causes actually is it provides the cushioning to the आर्टिकुलर सर्फेसेस दैट आर बीइंग इन कॉन्टैक्ट. मतलब जब भी हमारा मैंडिबल डिप्रेस होता है तो जो हमारे आर्टिकुलर सर्फेसेस सबसे ज़्यादा कॉन्टैक्ट में आ रहे होते हैं उनके बीच में डिस्क आकर इट प्रोवाइड्स कुशनिंग एंड हेल्प्स इन रिड्यूसिंग द डीजनरेशन. सो दैट इज़ वाई लेटरल टेरिगॉइड मसल का हेल्दी होना इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. But you know what? In most of us, the lateral pterygoid muscle is usually stiff due to the overwork. Why overwork? Because usually people with TMJ dysfunction tends to have the problems with articular disc, and it is very commonly involved in TMJ dysfunction. So to let it perform its function, lateral pterygoid tends to overwork and hence moves it anterior and posteriorly, which causes its tightness or weakness. So we need to look for lateral pterygoid in our patients with TMJ dysfunction along with the articular disc, because we definitely can do something to lateral pterygoid but not directly to the articular disc. Moving further, what the disc or what are the changes or the pathological changes or the pathomechanical changes in the disc can cause to the TMJ dysfunction or the TMJ. As I have been discussing throughout the video that TMJ dysfunction causes clicks, pain. So all of this is because of the articular disc. Whenever articular disc comes in between the movement, it causes clicks. Abnormally between the movement, it causes clicks and pain, as we have discussed, because of the high nerve endings. And the third most important thing is lateral deviation. Lateral deviation is because of the tightness of the lateral pterygoid muscle and reduced maximal mouth opening, and this reduced maximal mouth opening obviously results in TMJ dysfunction, and patient gets irritated, and then the patient usually visits us. The second most important thing about the pathomechanics of the TMJ is we always need to look for forward head posture and the cervical region, because we all know SCM is one of the muscles that is very much stiff or prone to stiffness or tightness or trigger band points in the cervical region, and which have direct facial connectivity with the TMJ. Hence, the tightness of SCM is also one of the causes of the referred pain to the TMJ. So these were all the clinical findings and clinical correlations of the TMJ and the articular disc. Talking about what we as physiotherapists can do to the TMJ dysfunction is, first of all, we need to be very thorough with the assessment. We need to be very thorough with the biomechanics, the pathomechanics, and only after that we can move on to the treatment part. And as I can find in literature, or the manual therapy techniques which can be performed, that are distraction, the manual therapy techniques like MET or mobilization. Also, there are few exercises like Crania-Me protocol, which helps in improving the jaw kinesiology. Also, there are few other exercises like activation of capsule, which reduces the intra-articular pressure and increases the range of motion, which helps in easing out the chewing and grinding motion. So I hope you all got a gist about what is articular disc and its role in the TMJ dysfunction, and also how often the lateral pterygoid muscle is being involved in the same. And if you like the video, do share your thoughts in the comment box. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.